Hey there, Laura here. Welcome to this gentle yoga practice. We'll be here for about 30 minutes. We'll be on the floor for this whole practice, and some of the things you might want to have close by that are totally optional would be a pair of yoga blocks, perhaps a thick blanket, and a pillow or cushion. Other than that, get yourself set up and comfortable, and I'll meet you on the mat. We'll go ahead and get started in an easy seat of your choice. Can be cross-legged. I'm going to begin kneeling this evening. So wherever you are, sit up nice and tall. Get comfortable. Begin to tune in with the breath. Find a nice soft gaze. Just settle in, beginning to welcome yourself to your yoga practice. Thank yourself for showing up. Our positive affirmation for this evening is, it is enough to do my best. It is enough to do my best. Sometimes we try too hard, no matter what it is that you're doing, but just know that you're enough. From your easy seat, we'll begin by draping the arms down beside the body. Fingertips graze the earth. We'll take a nice big inhale as we circle sweep up high. Palms meet at the top. Let's take an exhale. Two more like this. Inhale, circle sweep it up. And exhale, nice and easy. Inhale up. This time, palms meet at the top. We'll exhale, hands to heart center. From here, the fingers will interlace. We'll press the palms forward as we round the back. Exhale. Then inhale the palms up to the sky. Exhale, fingertips back down to the earth. Let's try that again. Inhale it up. Palms meet at the top and we exhale. Hands to heart center. Take a nice big inhale as we interlace the fingers. Exhale, palms press forward. We round the spine. Inhale the palms up. Exhale down. Let's get like that at your own pace. Circle of joy. Inhaling out. Exhale. Press it forward. Inhale out. Exhale down. Nice. Feels good on the shoulders. Let's take an inhale up. Exhale. This time we'll interlace the hands behind the back, behind the tailbone, pressing the knuckles towards the earth, squeezing the shoulder blades together. We'll look up, opening the heart. Keeping the fingers interlaced, releasing the shoulders, just relaxing, bringing the interlaced fingers to rest on the right hip point. Finding a nice shoulder stretch to that left shoulder and neck area. If you like to intensify the stretch, maybe bring that right ear to the right shoulder. Finding length in the left side neck. Maybe nodding the head at a diagonal. Taking one more breath here. Keeping the fingers interlaced, bringing them over to the other hip, just resting them onto the left hip. Staying here, or maybe bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. Adding on a little nod to the head and a diagonal. Noticing how that subtle movement really intensifies the stretch. Bring the head back up to neutral when you're ready. Keeping the fingers interlaced, placing them back behind the tailbone. Releasing the fingers, taking another inhale as we circle sweep up high. Palms of the hands meet at the top. We'll go ahead and interlace the fingers again up here. Bending at the elbows, bring the palms of the hands behind the head. From here, we'll tip over to the left, pointing the right elbow up towards the sky. And over to the other side. Back and forth like this a couple times. At your own pace. It is enough to do my best. Pause the next time you get to center. Bringing the elbows, pointing them forward, bringing them in towards the ears and just rounding the spine. Allowing the hands, the arms to traction the head. Taking a couple breaths here. Releasing the hands, coming back up to neutral. Maybe doing a couple circles with the head. That feels good. Rolling the shoulders up and back. Resituating in your seat. Walking the hands back. Lifting the hips just a little bit for a little baby camel. It doesn't matter if you're kneeling or if you're in a cross-legged seat. Just lifting the hips a little bit. And then from here, we'll walk the hands forward, finding a child's pose. Walking the arms out long. Resting the forehead towards the earth. Maybe nodding the head from side to side. Knees can be touching or maybe bring them out wide. You'd like to add a little bit of shoulder stretch to this extended child's pose. Maybe bring the palms of the hands together, bending at the elbows, the thumbs come to the back of the neck. Reverse namaste. Let's take 2 more breaths like this in our child's pose. No matter where you are, your version of child's pose. From here, we'll bring the palms of the hands beneath the shoulders and press on up, coming into a tabletop position. Stacking the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Maybe give the hips a little shake. The fingers are spread wide. We'll check in with the tummy and draw the navel to the spine. staying here, or maybe sending that right leg out to the side, coming into this wide-legged child's pose. Feeling the stretch on the inner thigh area, maybe rocking back and forth, noticing how that feels. Maybe sending the hips on back to the left heel. With a modified wide-legged child's pose. Intensifies the stretch to that right inner thigh. Coming on back up when you're ready. Tucking that right knee back under the right hip. We'll give the hips a shake and move on over to the other side. This time sending that left leg out wide. And then maybe rocking back and forth. Noticing how one side feels different than the other. Arch of the left foot rests onto the earth. Maybe even sending the hips back to that right heel. Coming on down to the forearms. Wide-legged child's pose. One more breath wherever you are. And we'll come on back up to our tabletop position. From tabletop, we'll walk the hands forward, melting the heart down, puppy pose. Maybe the forehead touches down. Feeling the nice stretch in the shoulder area. Taking a couple breaths here in puppy. On your next inhale, we'll keep the hands where they are and lift the body up, shifting forward, hugging the elbows in towards the ribs. We'll lower the hips on down to the floor. Coming on to the forearms for Sphinx pose. The forearms are parallel in the shape of a number 11. Elbows resting under the shoulders. Fingers are spread wide, crown of the head reaches tall. Heart shines forward. If there's any pinching in the back, try bringing the feet out just a little bit wider, or maybe walking the elbows out forward towards the top of the mat just a little bit. See if that helps. And we're breathing here, enjoying this little back bend, Sphinx pose. You can stay here in your Sphinx pose as long as you like, or bring this into a thread the needle by focusing on the left arm and threading that through behind the right. Bringing that left ear, left shoulder on down to the mat, maybe making a little pillow with the back of the right hand. One more breath. And pressing back up, coming back into your Sphinx pose. Just for a breath or two, And then moving to the other side, threading the right hand through behind the left. Right ear, right shoulder, come on down to the mat. Maybe make a pillow with the left hand to rest the head. It is enough to do my best. Let's take one more breath here. And then come on back up into our Sphinx pose. From Sphinx, we'll move the hands beneath the third eye center, stacking them on one another, and then resting the forehead on the backs of the hands for crocodile pose. This is where you may want to use your thick blanket. We're going to come into frog. So I'm going to take my folded thick blanket and put it there right where my knee is going to land. Totally optional, just if you want a little extra padding there for your knee. From crocodile pose, we'll draw that right knee up the side body, finding where it feels comfortable. Coming into frog pose, relaxing the right hip, allowing gravity to draw it closer to the earth. Breathing here, just enjoying the stretch. Very passive hip stretch. Let's take 2 more breaths. Begin to slowly straighten that right leg back out to meet the left. Maybe tap the tops of the feet onto the earth a little bit. And then moving to the other side. I'm going to move my blanket over to rest my left knee on. So from crocodile, we'll just advance that left knee up beside the body, just to where it feels comfortable. It may or may not be at a 90-degree angle with the hip. And we'll just breathe here. This is one of my absolute favorite poses. So very relaxing. Let's take 2 more breaths. Half frog. And then slowly straighten that left leg back out to meet the right. Maybe tap the tops of the feet onto the mat a little bit more. And then from here, we'll bring the right hand out from the third eye center, bending the right leg, maybe reaching back for that right ankle for a little quad stretch. If you're not comfortable here on your belly, you can also do this one on the side if this feels better. Either way is fine. Do what feels good here. Just a little quad stretch. Should feel this in front, the front of the thigh, Maybe a little bit in the hip flexor area. Releasing the right leg and moving over to the other side, bending the left knee, reaching back for the left foot, left ankle with the left hand, finding a little quad stretch there. Breathing into any areas of tightness. Knowing that you can do this on your side as well. Releasing that left leg. Palms of the hands come beneath the shoulders and press them back up to tabletop. I'll meet you when you get there. This is where you may or may not want to use your blocks. I'll demonstrate with those. Totally optional. Just to bring the earth a little closer to you. Give you a little bit more space. So from tabletop, we're going to bring that right foot and plant it in between the hands. Coming into a low lunge. Really feeling the stretch in the left hip flexor this time. This is nice. From here, the right hand comes behind the head. We'll point the elbow down. As we inhale, we'll open up, pointing the elbow towards the sky, maybe reaching up tall. Maybe even bringing that arm beside the right ear. Easy twist. And exhale it back down. Low lunge. Sending that right knee back under the right hip. Maybe giving the hips a little shake. Side to side. And moving over to the left foot. Bringing that through, planting it between the hands. Low lunge. And you can do this with or without the blocks. Those are optional. Shifting the weight into that right hand. We'll bring the left hand to the back of the head. The elbow points towards the ground and we'll inhale it up. Staying here or maybe inhaling the fingertips to the sky. Reaching over to the ear. And coming back on down to your low lunge. Enjoying that hip flexor stretch on the other side. When you're ready, we'll tuck that left knee back under the left hip, coming back into a tabletop. Making any adjustments that you need here. From your tabletop, as we inhale, we'll pull the heart through, looking up, tipping the tailbone up, finding some cat-cows, exhaling, rounding the spine, tucking the chin to the chest, inhaling, pulling the heart through, and exhale, round. Flowing these two motions, cat and cow. It is enough to do my best. Spinal flexion and extension. 2 more. Cat-cow. And I'll meet you back in tabletop position. From here, we'll shift the hips off to one side or the other, coming on down to our backs. Stretching the legs out long. Take your time getting there. We'll bring the right knee in towards the belly. Give it a little squeeze. And then with the left hand, we'll gently guide that right knee over across the body, coming into a little spinal twist. With a nice gentle stretch in that right outer hip. Breathing out any tension that's left in the body. One more breath in our twist. And we'll unravel back to center, stretching the right leg out to meet the left. Resituating the hips. Move to the other side. Left knee bends. Give it a little squeeze. And gently guide it across the body, coming into your twist. Breathing here, just enjoying this. One more breath. Staying here if you'd like. Coming back to center. Stretching that leg out long. Giving the legs a little shake. Choosing to stay here in this supine shape, I'm going to give you a couple options for the legs. You can bend the knees, bringing the feet out wide and knock the knees in together, or bring the big toes to touch and allow the knees to fall out wide. You can rest the hands on the belly or drape the arms down by the side. Find a nice soft gaze or close the eyes down. Taking a moment here in our final relaxation. Just reflect on our practice. It is enough to do my best. No matter how hard we try or how things turned out, just know that you've done your best. You can stay here in Shavasana or whatever shape that you're in. Join me by bringing a subtle movement back to the body. Maybe wiggling the fingers or the toes, rocking the head from side to side. You're rolling over onto one side or the other, taking just a couple more breaths here. Staying here, or pressing the body back up to a seated position, just where we started. Resting the hands in the lap, or joining me by bringing hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be well. Namaste. Thank you so much.